The avalanche of Chinese earphones with active noise cancelling has begun. No doubt that lots of them appear junk, but usually this isn't the case of Awei products, and they recently released the TA1. These are clearly inspired by Apple's AirPods Pro. The case spreads horizontally and the capsules also have Apple traces. You notice it just by opening the lid. When holding the product, right away you get the impression that it is less robust. It's a simpler material, although they still don't look too fragile. Anyway, we're talking about earbuds that cost $40. That's 6 times less than the mentioned AirPods, so simplifications are expected, right? The first different feature I noticed about the TA1 was their syncing process. You must keep them inside the case, then you open the lid and press a lower button so that they enter the pairing mode. After that, I think that the Bluetooth 5 connection was very stable with no audio drops, and it also connects to the smartphone very quickly whenever I open the lid. When watching YouTube videos with them, there was no audio delay, and for gamers, there's the gaming mode that can be enabled with 3 touches on the right capsule. It increases power consumption but reduces audio latency. When I tested that with Free Fire on a Galaxy S20 FE, indeed there was no latency in short sounds. The fit in the ear canals is comfortable and secure, 9 out of 10 in that regard. This will vary from person to person, of course, and for me it was a satisfactory result. There were no accidental falls or excessive loosening when I used the TA1 on a treadmill. The sound profile deserves special attention. Here we have a type of audio that is strongly supported by bass and mid-bass, so that treble and regular mid-tones have less stage. I don't want to call this a muffled sound because it's not quite the case, but it's a profile that has less texture than I would like. Compared to Xiaomi's Redmi AirDots 2, for example, I have the impression that the TA1 covers a smaller range of frequencies. Of course, all of this can be equalized on the phone within some limits, but those were my impressions about the factory setting. For those who like music that focuses on bass, they can enjoy what is delivered right away. But I believe that considering the general public, an equalizer is not a bad idea at all. So let's talk about the ANC. I had little expectations about it, and well, they were exceeded. Noise reduction is beyond reasonable, eliminating sounds like the fan in my room, even without music playing. Other constant sounds also go in the same direction, and the rest is somewhat softened. Recently, I tested a very famous model on the internet, the Bamboo Quiet, which are more expensive and in comparison to the TA1, they have equal or even a little worse ANC. Of course, in $40 earphones, we won't have the same level of the most premium competitors, but for this category, I say without fear that Awei has achieved a beautiful result. Anc Mode is activated by pressing the right capsule for 2 seconds. I haven't mentioned it directly, but both capsules are touch-sensitive to execute commands on the songs and on the earphones actions. I think it was a well-implemented solution, because the touch-sensitive area is well-defined and is unlikely to be triggered unintentionally. In addition, a huge range of controls is present, and yes, they include changing the volume. This is a test of the built-in microphones on the Awei TA1. I think the audio has good presence and not much metallization, so it's above average at this price range. Battery is quite decent. The manufacturer promises 4 hours of continuous listening, and I reached 4.5 hours, with noise reduction activated for a good time. The case provides 3 additional charges, so if these aren't among the earphones with the best possible autonomy, they're far from the worst. So after all, did I like the TA1? Well, they wouldn't make it to a list of my favorite earphones, mainly because of the audio profile from factory. You know, I'm too lazy to mess with equalizers. But for those who have no problem with it or even enjoy the predominance of bass, this is a cool package. In the $40 range, you get a decent battery, a comfortable design with several built-in audio controls, and an ANC that is quite capable for this category. I haven't mentioned yet, but they do have sweat and light wearing protection, so they're not meant to take a heavy rain, but yes, there's some resistance here. In the end, if they don't fit my best preferences as a product, these earphones don't disappoint. They are a good alternative as affordable AirPods Pro. Whoever wants to buy the Awei TA1 from a reliable store, check the link in the description below. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. See you next time.